This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Bangladesh is on the brink. The Anti-Discrimination Students Movement has called for the abolition of the 1972 constitution, criticizing it as a product of the Mujibist era and accusing it of the fostering Indian influence. They are going to conduct a press conference on 31st of December. The movement believes that the constitution has harmed Bangladesh and seeks a new framework to replace it, with plans to unveil the new manifesto. The proposal has been met with strong opposition, with the Bangladesh Nationalist Party led by former Prime Minister Khaleda Zia, who has condemned the move, arguing that the constitution written after Bangladesh independence is a historic document. I am joined by Suhas Chakma. Suhas Chakma is Director of Rights and Risk Analysis Group and a noted commentator on Northeast and SAARC security issues. So to you, why have they chosen 31st and what are they thinking of doing, sir?
Well, I think they basically want to strengthen the hands of Yunus, and without the support of the Yunus, they will not have done this, and they know that very soon there is going to be an administration or new administration in the US. So in order to show the US government that the students are behind all the reforms, which includes actually rewriting the entire Bangladesh, constitution, mindset, thinking, whatever. So they want to do it before 20th, January, before the Trump administration comes in. So that's the only reason why they are coming in at this point of time. There is no other significance with respect to the date chosen.
Taking a different line. Earlier when the agitation was taking place, the BNP was behind it. Now BNP has taken a different line. Is there a split in this movement right now?
Well, in the first interview actually on Bangladesh, which I had given to you, I had at that point of time had stated that the BNP and the Awami League will have to come together to challenge this government, because everybody misunderstood Yunus, that Yunus is a fundamentalist and who has been able to camouflage himself with the Nobel, Prize. So that's why. So the BNP has no other option but to come to the table with Awami League and actually save Bangladesh. Because the forces which are leading the country in Bangladesh at this point of time, they are pro-Pakistanis. Anybody which believes or who believes that 1972 constitution of Bangladesh to be rewritten, because about 1,000 people have died in the protest by the students, they have completely forgotten that millions of people, 3 million people were killed during the Bangladesh Liberation War. Thousands of women were raped.
So now can Bangladesh turn?
Absolutely. I think in the direction which the government, the Bangladesh going is, it will either have a massive civil war between the Islamic forces. Absolutely. Because these people who are in power, they have no intention to hand over power to anybody. So that's why they are using reform to prolong their stay. They are, using mob justice to rule the country, and the mob is being led by the students who actually wanted reform of the quota system, which was discriminatory. Then now actually they have become the entire unconstitutional authority of the country. So therefore, it's not being any longer run by any government, but it's being run by the students, which is the mob. So what options the BNP and Awami League have? They will either be wiped out completely or they have to fight back. So in that kind of a situation, you are bound to have civil war, because for the first time, Bangladesh has been divided between the Rajakars and the Pakistani forces, which is headed by Yunus, and the democratic forces, which is BNP and the Awami League. Even though BNP and Awami League do not agree on range of issues and they do not see eye to eye, but they are on the same page as far as the history of Bangladesh is concerned.
If you look at the leaked data which has come out, which is the bedrock of what they may do, they have used words in part of their conversation such as whereas 72 Constitution has shattered the vision of millions who were martyred and paved the way for the failure of democracy in national institutions. They are actually blaming everything on the Constitution, and they are not blaming it on Pakistan. And they are saying that whereas Muslims and women become vulnerable target of the fascist regime and no justice has been served to them. So basically they are saying that this Constitution was a document through which oppression was conducted, whereas this documentation of the Constitution itself was a democratic process.
Look, this is a draft done by the juveniles, and if you look at the draft which both of us have gone through, you would see that even the English is not correct, and it cannot be a declaration on which people of a community of a country of the size of Bangladesh should be moved. The English is absolutely wrong. The expressions are wrong. So these are the kids who are being used by the United States administration and the Yunus administration some way or the other to ensure.
Suhas, it's one thing to get your English wrong. Another thing is to get a Constitution wrong.
Everything is wrong in the document. If you look at the document, the way they are trying to empower Yunus to carry out the reform.
And this is what they are going to do tomorrow. This is what they are going to do tomorrow.
Absolutely. So that's what I am saying. Under what provisions of the Constitution, even if the 11th Amendment is 13th Amendment is restored, even if you have the interim government, under what provisions of the Constitution of Bangladesh you have the authority to carry out reforms by an unelected government, who just came and assumed power. This, so you could see that, this is nothing but an attempt to ensure that BNP doesn't make any noises before the new administration in the US comes in.
Okay. I think you were spot on, when the first time when this coup took place and you said, Kartike, I'm telling you that Yunus is an Islamist and he is not going to let go of power. You were spot on, Suhas. Tomorrow we'll again have a conversation on this when the draft comes out. I hope they get their English right. But I'm so sad that they are getting the Constitution wrong. So that's all on Point tonight. Thank you for watching. Do tune in at the same time tomorrow at 7.